Welcome to Rosting the World, where we offer an adversarial perspective on today's cultural issues. We do it for the intelligent culture. I'm your host, King Robinson, and we have a very special guest today. We have my brother from another father. For my brother, introduce yourself, bro.
Brian. Like you said, I'm his little brother.
Yeah.
From another mother.
Right.
Same dad.
Same dad. Yeah, same dad. Yeah, that's right.
I'm a sous chef. I currently work at City Oyster in Delray Beach, Florida.
Right.
I'm here on vacation in Tennessee, visit my big brother.
That's dope. So, just to give y'all some background knowledge, I think the last time I saw him, I was probably between 5, maybe 7 years old. I went to go visit our dad, and I remember playing with Battle Cat, and I remember it vaguely, but I do remember it. And then now I'm in my 40s, and we linked back. So God is good. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give y'all a little background. So this is a reunion that's kind of super dope. Also, like as far as our topic today, we're going to talk about family. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about maybe some politics. You know, we'll talk about his entrepreneurial, his businesses that he has going on, and a few things like that. But I just wanted to give y'all a little bit of background check, so it'll be kind of rapid fire a little bit, folks. So let's just jump right into it, man. So you said you're from.
I'm from Delaware.
Okay.
I just moved to Florida, Delray.
Okay, now in Delaware, I remember talking to you. You said that you went to the school that Dr. Umar started, right?
Oh yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
All right, so I started following Dr. Umar probably like 2014, 2015.
Okay.
And everybody say, "Oh, the man is scammer, he's scammer, he's scammer."
I ain't seen no kind of graduates, yo.
So I just wanted to see if he really, about his word.
Right.
I stay in Delaware. It's probably about an hour away from where the school at. He's in Wilmington.
Okay.
I went up there. The school was there. It got a mural on it's a yellow. He painted it all yellow. He put a mural of I think it's Frederick Douglass.
Okay.
Marcus Garvey.
Okay.
It's another. It might be him painted on the building also. But the school is definitely there. He has the school.
Okay. Now he said something about he wanted to employ all people of color to build it, so that may be what's kind of holding up the process or something like that. I just feel like you need to just get it going. You know what I'm saying? So that we can stop this whole narrative of it not getting done and taking folk money or whatever the narrative is, and just complete.
Yeah,
you know
just get it done.
Get it done. I'm a finisher. I like to get stuff done. So. Okay, I just wanted to rant with you about that because Joe Biden is from Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Have you what kind of how has that affected?
Only thing I know about Joe Biden is where I used to work at on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big stink because he had to get his fence lifted so people wouldn't be looking over his fence into his yard. That was like the biggest thing, biggest talk of the town in Delaware at that time. And that's really about it. He come down there to the beach, his beach house, and he keep it moving.
Yeah. So did it make you like super proud because he was from Delaware that he was carrying bread?
Not really.
Not really. Not at home cooking.
Really. I think they really from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
But they just moved to Delaware. I'm not sure because Pennsylvania and Delaware is so close. It's like right there. Okay. It takes about, I think it's like 15 minutes from Wilmington, where Dr. Umar School is, to Philly. It's about 15 minutes.
Oh, that ain't bad at
all.
Oh
yeah. So they right there. So it didn't make me feel, any kind of thing. When he became vice VP for Barack Obama, it didn't really, it's politics.
It was just politics. So okay, we're gonna pivot a little.
Okay.
Now you said that you have your own business.
I got a rolling paper business, right?
Yeah.
What's
the name of it? Where
my rolling paper business is called the Black Hippie.
The Black Hippie. Okay.
Like I said, man, probably around 30 years old, I really came, and I don't know what people want to call it, consciousness, woke, that's a name for it, but I really came into like learning more about, me and who I am as a black man in America.
Right.
So I'm a little different than other brothers that's been in the streets, because I was in the streets at one time and
Yeah.
came out of that. So now I looked at the raw papers,
Right.
and I did research on him. I forgot the guy's name. His name is Josh. I can't pronounce his last name, but man, this Joker made $8 million
Oof.
off of raw papers,
Oof.
and the only people that consume it is black.
Okay. And they're better for you than the
No.
perfectos, the swishers, and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. As far as the
way
papers,
better
as far as
for
the
you.
papers is way better for you because there's no tobacco.
Exactly.
That was another thing I got into it, but really the reason I didn't. It's harder for you to get in the tobacco, selling blunts and stuff like that industry, because it's a government controlled.
Regulated.
Yeah. So. The papers was easy. Like I said, I just was looking around, man. I said, $8 million was. So I jumped into the business. It's slow, but hopefully, this right here gonna help me.
Right.
Every little bit helps, get it up out there, and that's it, man.
Where can they find your products?
Right now, I got one store. I'm in one store in Delray. It's called Blue Vibes.
Okay.
It's on Atlantic Avenue. Other than that, you'll have to go to my Instagram page. My handle is TBH1887. That's Marcus Garvey birthday.
Okay.
I did that because I used the red and black green flag colors on my papers. So, I said, I just started really coming into consciousness about 30. So I wanted to.
I got a partner that has a CBD shop that may want to carry some of that stuff, so I'll try to link you with him. Shout out to Cannabliss. My partner it's out in Goodlettsville. He has a shop out there too. So so that's super dope. My boy Smoke. But so you said you came into consciousness and you mentioned Marcus Garvey. Tell us a little bit about just being a black man and how those things affect you and change your thought process from being before pre-woke, I guess, before you came into that type of consciousness. Because I got something like that also. What mine was, where I found out I'm having a kid. Before that, I was in the streets. I didn't care about a lot of things. I was very cold-hearted. I was just being reckless. And then when I found out, it like hit me. Like, man, I gotta do something different. Like, I have to wake up and be a better version of myself, not for me, but for those outside of me. So that's kind of what kind of shook me a little bit. And that happened when I was in my early 20s, and I was still out there doing the wrong stuff, being reckless, but I started gradually progression to doing the right things and trying to, better my life for them. But go ahead.
My first daughter just made me go harder in the streets.
Okay. Why?
She didn't money.
Yeah.
I wanted her to have everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and just spoil her to death because it's my first little girl.
Absolutely.
So she just made me go. She made me get more into the streets, dive deeper in there.
Right.
I went to jail when I turned 21.
Okay.
When I was there, she started using the bathroom on her own. She was still in Pampers when I left, so she started using the bathroom on her own. I missed a lot. So when I came home, I said, I ain't going back to jail. It was a guy in there, guard. He was friends with my mom. He grew up down the street from my mom and my uncles and stuff. Real cool. He was like, let me show you something. So he took me in the kitchen, gave me a kitchen job. Just, man, look, you ain't gonna get rich, but it's gonna keep you out of trouble. It's gonna put money in your pocket. It's always gonna be a job.
He taught you a trade.
So that's how I got into the cooking thing. So when I came home, I was cooking. I was still dibbling and dabbling a little bit, just trying to, find me. Probably around, I can't remember what happened. I know it was around maybe 09, because that's when I had my son. I don't know. I just snapped back into my old self. Okay. It was easier for me to go back to doing what the street stuff than it was for me to go to work every day.
To keep pushing through. Yeah.
So I did that, and I had a real good run. And before I got in trouble again, I said I had a son.
Yeah.
that year in '09. And I said, man, before I get in trouble again, I'm just gonna go ahead and fall back.
Yeah.
The whole goal was for me to make sure I can help my family out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
me being there, I was more important
Than everything else.
yeah, than the money.
Yeah.
So that helped me out a lot with my son being born. Like I said, I kept still bullshitting, but trying to both sides.
Yeah.
I'm going to work every day, but I'm still,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still hanging out with people I know I ain't supposed. Yeah,
and the money still look good, man.
The money,
the extra bread. Listen, man,
yep,
having a day job and then hustling at night. When you got people that need things, you're able to do it, and it's not coming out your main check. That's but it's a lot of risk involved.
Oh yeah.
It was when I was out there doing whatever I was doing. It was difficult for me to sleep because I just kept having visions of like the police kicking in the door because I done had police kick in doors, raiding places that I was at. You know what I'm saying? From like my uncles and all that kind of stuff. And I just was like I got PTSD or something from the police, man. So,
that's what it is.
And then like I don't like to be in small places. I'm 6'3", dog, 200 something. Like I like space. And then they were trying to put you in the back of a small police car because I got locked up in juvenile a few times. And they try to put you in a small box inside with the jail. I'm like, man, I don't need none of that, dog. I need some free. I like free space, man. Like outside, So that really kind of was like, okay, that, and then I needed to be here for my kids.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I know but I wasn't around a lot. When you was a kid, when it was growing up, I was with my mom, and then she went to prison, and pops wasn't there, so it was like, who's there? So I didn't want my children to grow up that way. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want to, like you said earlier when we was talking, I don't want to have any regrets. I wanted to say, hey, you know who your parents are. If you need a place, you need some bread. You don't got to go out here to no man in the streets. You don't got to go do none of that stuff. I'm going to make sure that you straight because that's my job. So, that really kind of put some bumpers on how I was
moving in the streets.
Moving in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, I ain't trying to be dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm straight. I work 2 jobs. I worked at UPS, loading, unloading trucks, working at school, tutoring in the afternoons. I'm talking about overnight cleaning buildings. Like I'm doing everything, bro. Like just because I know I need that bread, and ain't nobody gonna give it to you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people, good people that chose another route. Some of them ended up there. Some of them ended up with a lot of time.
Desperation.
Yeah. And that's the state of our community, it feels like.
Oh yeah, it is. When I was doing, I like the way you put bumpers on me. So my son, he put bumpers on me.
Yeah.
I started moving a different way. I didn't hang out at night. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do. I'm not, after 10 o'clock, don't call my phone. I'm in the house. So I put bumpers on me. And then it didn't work out with me and his mom. Yeah. I turned 28 and I just panicked.
Yeah.
Because I never thought, somebody asked me, like, what do you want to do with it? What are you going to be when you grow up? I'm 28 years old. I had no clue because I never thought this far in life. So, 28, I panicked. It was a lady that I used to date a long time ago. High school, had a crush on her, all that stuff. So I married her. I married her. I had my last daughter by her.
Okay.
I turned 30. And I'm still, I'm working every day. I got, because I found me a nice trade. I'm working up my trade. So now I'm a sous chef.
Right.
I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm working a lot. And one day I was with one of my friends. We was, smoking, drinking, whatever. And he was like, let me turn you on to something. And he introduced me to this guy on YouTube called Sarai Suit and Set.
Okay.
He's from Detroit. And man, he was just going crazy.
Yeah.
On the internet and cussing and fussing and just telling me the first thing lecture I heard from him was the black woman is God. And like I tell people, I said this to you and I said it to my girlfriend the other day. I don't take everything people say soak all of it up.
Yeah, like that's my theory of the sponge.
Yeah.
Where you take in everything around you. You see everything, but you keep in the things that help you grow, and you squeeze out the things that don't serve you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can learn something from everybody.
Right. So
shout out to
I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
So
theory of the sponge.
I did that, I do that now with
Yeah.
everything, you know, because
Yeah.
I wasn't exposed to a different religion until I was maybe 10,
Mm-hmm.
11 maybe. I think that's all. I think that's everybody in the United, like in the world.
Yeah.
You don't know until
Right.
you know.
Right.
My buddy, this guy I was in middle school. He had a kufi on his head. What is that?
What is that? Yeah.
And he explained, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I never knew. I grew up in a Baptist church, so I never
Mm-hmm.
knew. But so he put me deal with these other guys, the elders, John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben Yosa. I can't say his last name.
Mm-hmm.
But I just started looking at that, just diving deeper. I'm like, you know, it's deep. The things that they never taught me in school, or
Right.
the things that I didn't know about my history, or you know,
Right.
really like who am I?
Who we are. Yeah.
So that's how I got here. So I started that, and I just want to just do better in life, man. Just
And there's a
be
big
here for my
push
kids.
in education, right? Because I'm in the educational field
Oh,
in
yeah.
my
That's right.
my day job, but the curriculum is based on what people want to indoctrinate you into, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, but if you're in the system, you get an opportunity to tell this young kid, don't matter what color they are, they live in America, you know, especially if they're under the poverty line. Hey, you a young man, learn how to control your emotions. Don't be here acting wild. Breathing techniques. Taking care of your family, providing
Oh, yeah.
for them. Those are your jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And if you act like you ain't got no sense, you got police out here that's going to take care of you.
Oh yeah.
Whether it be locking you up or they going to pop you. Point blank period. A lot of
Yeah.
people aren't even telling their kids these things.
Oh yeah.
But these are life lessons that need to be taught.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All we learn about, we can learn about the Greek god and goddesses and stuff like that, which is not helping us at all. You know what I'm saying? But we're not talking about finance, financial literacy, parenting classes. We're not talking about the things that actually matter, how to balance a budget or your
That's right.
stuff like that is important in real life. So I'm talking to the kids kind of about that. We still got to go by the curriculum because that's my job.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really talking to them about life lessons also. Teach them how to be a global citizen.
Putting the medicine in the can.
Absolutely. And then a step further than that, I hear a lot of people, especially people, black folks that I've been around, they say college is a scam. It's going to get you in debt. It's going, it's not going to help you, right? And I agree. Like your guy told you, he gave you a trade. He gave you something that could feed you for the rest of your life, right? I agree. We need those too, right? We need that. But for me, all that I saw was drugs, athletics, and music. Those are the only three choices I had. So when somebody brought this other option of going to college, it was a way better choice than drugs. I was always an athlete, but what if I hurt my knee? Like,
That's right.
you know what I'm saying? Then I'm done. Then I'm just done. My life is over. And then music, I still do music now, and it just has not popped. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's very few people that make it in these three areas that become millionaires or super successful and actually make it out in the world. So that fourth option of going to school, getting an education or a trade or something like that needs to be also addressed in that conversation.
Oh yeah.
Because if you don't give them that other option, they're going to think this is all I have, there's no other options. And for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it was a pathway for me to have a better life. And I was able to take care of my family because I did go to college and get my degree, which opened up the door for better jobs and positions and to keep moving up and have a trajectory versus selling dope, selling weed, whatever, robbing folks, being an athlete, playing football, basketball my whole life, or doing music my whole life. And I still do music and I still am athletic, but that wasn't feeding my family. So I just want to say I think education is super important. There's a lot of kids out here, especially kids of color, that can't read. They don't know how to have a conversation with a person. They don't have social skills, and I think some of that starts at home.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And I just feel like that is one of the push. That's why I like the fact that Dr. Umar is trying to make the school. I like that Oprah made the school. I like the people making schools, right? But the curriculum is important. Getting it done is important, and then having representation in the school that looks like them. There's kids in my school that got locks. Kids in my school that look like me, that I can preach to and talk to and pour into. Then there's kids that don't look like me that need to see my representation because they're going to get older and they're going to be in positions of power and need to know that I'm able to also do my job and not look at me just because of my complexion.
That's right.
You know, not just because of my hair, but it's like, nah, I had a boss or I had a teacher or I had a principal or whatever that looked like this and they were handling their business.
Yeah.
I can respect that and keep it moving. And that's how you move the world. That's how you make change. So, you know, I'm a change agent. I'm actually in here doing the work, you know, and shout out to, you know, all the other people that's out here doing the work too. I can't speak for them, but I know for sure they out here. And, you know, so that's one of the things I wanted to address. And then the fact that somebody gave you that trade and that changed your life, how would you talk to our youth in order to give them something that would change their life? You know, or what would you say is an area that they can grow in or something that you can give them because somebody gave something to you?
Okay. I really don't know how to put it. All right. For me, like I said, I was in trouble.
Yeah, and a lot of them gonna be in trouble.
I was in trouble.
A lot of them gonna
so
be
I
in
needed
trouble.
a trade. My thing is now it's not enough guys, not enough men, black men.
Right.
I had uncles. Okay, so I come from my grandma had 10 kids.
Right.
All by the same guy.
That's good. Shout out. Yeah. Shout out.
So my dad, he was there, he was present. He was married to my mom for a while, whatever. Like I said, me and you talked about this off camera. We whatever. He was there.
Right.
I knew who he was, and you know what I mean, all that stuff. But my uncles was there because that's where I was around all the time.
Yeah.
So but I had old school uncles. I got an uncle that could build a house. I got an uncle that could build a car. You know what I mean? What they call them? Shade tree mechanics.
Yeah.
So
shout
they
out
taught
Uncle Ronnie.
me. That's right. They taught me how to change a tire on a car. Come here, nephew. You need to know how to do this.
You need to know how to do. These are things you need to know.
They showed me how to check my oil. They showed me how to, check my alternator and where my alternator was at and my battery, the battery cables.
Absolutely.
They showed me all these things because it was 10 of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I picked up, like I said, same thing with the sponge. I always been like that. I picked up small pieces from each of them. I don't think it's enough of us out here doing that. Like I said, the guy down the street, giving that, pouring into the kids, pouring into.
But a lot of these kids
youth.
don't want to listen.
They don't. And you got to meet
them. They
them.
got to bump their head until, like you said, I need this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where I was at. So like I said, the thing that woke me up was they don't like the way a lot of people have a problem with. They're out here. The people on YouTube with their delivery. But I needed that delivery because I wasn't trying to hear anything else. You know what I mean? Like I need somebody that look like me, talk like me, come where I come from, that understands me, to tell me what's really going on out here.
Right. So that's our job.
Oh yeah, that's our job.
That's our job.
So, some of the kids, I tell them, man, look, you might, I don't like school. Okay, school might not be. School is not for everybody, man. I mean, it's just not, But a trade, you can pick up a trade and you can go so far. I know
money is for everybody.
Oh yeah, money is for everybody.
You gotta have it to survive. So you act like I don't want to work, and then your butt be sleeping over there on the side of the corner.
I just came from a lot of everybody I knew was either trying to open a business or had their own business.
That's dope.
So, and like I said, all my uncles and my uncles, and I got 2 older cousins. Like I said, my grandma had 10 kids. So my oldest aunt, her 2 kids, they like 10, 15 years older than me.
Right.
So they also got trades.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I seen that when I was little, and I saw how important that was.
Yeah.
For my grandma not to have to call anybody, that my uncle could come over here and he
do
could fix.
Yeah.
That's right. Fix anything that his mom needed fixed.
Absolutely.
And that was always important to me.
Yeah.
My uncle showed me how to, he had a garden in his backyard. He showed me that. I seen it all my life. I never really, but when I turned, when I'm 35, I got in the garden.
Right.
So when I see people, if they into what I'm into, I try to tell them. They ask me, oh, I ain't got a tattoo. I have an on my nail. What's that mean? And I'll break it down to them, tell them what it means. Put the medicine in the candy, like you said.
Yeah. Put the medicine in the candy.
Just try just everybody, man. Everybody just,
Yeah.
you see a kid riding down the street on a bike one day, just teach them how to change their flat tires on a bike. It just starts as little as that.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It ain't
Each
even gotta
one,
be
teach
your
one.
It ain't even gotta be your kid or your son, just the chick living in the apartment building downstairs. You know what I mean? It takes nothing. 5 minutes to throw a football with them. What's going on, little man? How you doing? You staying out of
Because
trouble?
a lot of us, and I mean black men, are, like there's a certain percentage of us that's locked up.
Oh, yeah.
Certain percentage of us is dead. Certain percentage of us that got some mental health issues that are not present in their kids' life for whatever that reason is. And so our kids are out here picking up things from a lot of surrounding areas that's not teaching them the right things.
That's right.
So when I grew up, somebody tried to give me a pack. Like, they so dope. They was like, hey, take this. You broke. Look at your shoes. Look at your clothes. Your mama on drugs. You need to do something. But that's all they knew. So they wasn't coming at it from an angle, I'm trying to hurt this kid. They coming at it from an angle, this is what I know, so I'm trying to teach this kid a trade. And I could have made a lot of money with that, but I saw how it did my mom. So I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I chose to do something else. And it took longer. It was struggling. But then I started seeing those same people. And some good people started disappearing.
Oh, yeah.
And when they disappearing, they doing 10 years, 8 years, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Or they dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have to get back to the business of pouring life into our children.
Bro, I'm going to tell you, for real, that was my biggest changer. Jail. That was the biggest change because I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. I told myself I ain't going back. I can't do it. My mom, and people, what do you mean by that? I can't do it. There's no way I can do it. Like, it's impossible.
I ain't built for that,
Yes. So that was my biggest. That was one of my biggest motivators. I got to do something.
Freedom is a big motivator.
That's right, because I can't do it. And even when I was younger, I used to get in trouble a lot. They took me to the Scared Straight things and stuff like that. But I knew they wasn't gonna put me in there. As a child. Like
I went in juvenile. I did some time in juvenile, and it sucked in.
Yeah,
it was a small room. I heard a bird. I said, "Woo."
Yeah,
whatever. I'm trying to go outside, dog. Keep being in a small room. All dudes here. Nah,
that's right.
That's not the move. Like I don't like no.
So when I got in trouble, they had a program. It was a boot camp program, first offenders program. They shut it down. I don't know why. I guess the government ran out of money or whatever. They just didn't think it was working. It worked for me. It definitely worked for me.
Right.
I had some good brothers in there, older brothers, and they really wanted to see because they could have did the same job, making the same money, and they don't have to interact with the inmates.
Right.
They can just sit in the booth, read the paper, beat the buzzer when they need to beat the buzzer, and they didn't have to do that, but they was brothers, and they wanted to give something back. They didn't want us to get it. They wanted us to make something out of ourselves.
Absolutely.
So that was my biggest. That helped me out a lot in my life. That made me know that wasn't where I wanted to be at.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I struggled with that for years, man. And like I'm at a good place now in my life where with my career and stuff like that.
So pivoting kind of past that onto like a slightly other subject.
Okay.
Like, and this is more family oriented, right?
Okay.
So from my perspective, I always knew I had other brothers out there, right? And I always had like a longing, like, and then real life happened. My mama locked up, real stuff started happening. So it just cause like out of sight, out of mind. But what was it like growing up? Cause I have a little brother here, Scotty, that I had to help raise this man. Like I'm doing stuff for him, make sure he eat. That's right. Beating up people in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Right. Stuff like that. So knowing that you have a big brother out here, right? Like what kind of thought process? Is that like? Do you think about me? Or what was that like?
I knew I had a brother.
Yeah.
Because like you say, you came down when you were younger, but I didn't know. And then, life, and
life, man.
Facebook, for real. When you reach back out to us, man, oh shit, okay, now we can build it. And then I still didn't. I felt like I could have years ago. I should have been doing more for this relationship.
Me too.
But
as the big brother too.
Man, listen, it's life. Like I said, man, I love my dad. You know what I mean? Whatever. He got his own story. Life was life for him.
Yeah.
Oh.
He had me when he was, I think my mom was 17 when she got
Mm-hmm.
pregnant. So he had to be 18, 19, young. I
Oh.
remember
Oh,
being
yeah.
18,
Oh, yeah.
19,
Oh, yeah.
reckless,
Young.
out here just whatever. Yo, why are you pregnant? Oh, they mine. You know, like whatever that looks like, but just not being mature. My frontal lobe hadn't developed enough, so I'm sure his hadn't either at that time. You know, and then my mom, she was pregnant. She left out of state. You know what I'm saying? So that's even more of a hassle to try to be a father. You know, so those things happen. But I thought of, since I laid eyes on you and we kicked it, you know, as kids, I was like, man, I know I got a little brother. I know I got family out here. Because there were days where I felt like alone. You know what I'm saying? I felt like something. I needed, you know what I'm saying, something like that. And God put other people in my life. You know, shout out to the Fishers, the McGrasses, the Cowans, you know, Robinsons, you know what I'm saying? Because my uncle, you know, ended up taking me in. You know, and those people took on the job of our father and my mom and stuff like that. So community raising of kids, village works. You know what I'm saying? Works. I know you mentioned, you know, grandmamas and aunties and uncles, and you know what I'm saying? That works, you know. So, you know, I just, you know, wanted to just touch on that just to kind of get, you know, your feedback on that. I know that you know, we still working through it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're still working through it.
We're gonna get through it.
Absolutely.
Because okay, so like I said, my grandmom had it was 10 of them. So I got my mom's side of the family is real big.
Right.
I think it's like I got 20, 23, 24, might be more than that, first cousins.
Oh yeah, so
Like, straight up first cousins.
Close.
Oh yeah. We grew up close because you know, like I said, life be life. I was blessed because my grandma was still there.
Right.
She had room to take me and my brother in.
Yeah.
So she took me and my brother in, and so my mom got herself back together. When she got back together, she came. She took us. She did the rest for it on her own.
Yeah.
But if we didn't have that, man, I don't know where I would be right now without that lady. So.
Absolutely. That's real talk, man. Shout out to grandma.
Oh,
now
yeah.
grandmamas is 35. Matter of fact,
35.
speaking of grandparents,
I'm a papa.
my man right here is a grandfather, and he's what, 41? 41-year-old grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
Got a four-year-old grandson.
That's dope.
All right, so boom. My oldest daughter, I felt like I messed up. So like I said, it made me want to go harder. She made me want to go harder.
Okay.
So my oldest daughter, you know, I went to jail, I was in the streets, whatever.
Yeah.
So I asked her, I'm like, man, this is my fault. You know, I blamed it all on me.
Right.
Her mom, she fell out with her. So I told her straight up, like, look, baby, you're young. I know. I want him to be there, but I know that man ain't going to be there.
How old was she?
She was 16.
Oh, man, 16.
He was, hold on. She was 16. She was about to turn 17.
Oh yeah, they was.
She was
babies.
still in high school.
They was babies.
She just turned 21. So he was 18.
Yeah.
He had just graduated. But he same thing, man. Like my boy Charleston White. He says the music and the culture. You know, I like I said, I soak in all the good stuff and I push out the nonsense.
Hold on, now that man makes sense when you say it's the music and the culture.
I'm gonna tell you about my grandson's father. He graduated from high school. Good, you know, he's a good kid, good dad, raised him, did everything right. But he just wanna be a knucklehead. He can't get right. So but besides that, so I told my daughter, I'm like, look, I'm telling you, he might not be here.
Right.
But I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
So I made sure I took her to every doctor's appointment. I was there when she had the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything I could do to aid and help her, I did.
Yeah.
So I got a grandson. It took me a while to accept that. People like, yo, you got another baby, you got another son. I ain't got another son.
right.
But it's like a double-edged sword because my mom is still here. Right. So now he's gonna really know his great grandma.
Right.
And that's how you keep your name and your legacy alive. Because when I'm gone, who's gonna talk about Sarah? That's my grandma, my mom's mom. Like who's gonna talk about her? Because her mom passed away before my mom was a little boy. So I never heard my mom tell me stories about her grandma.
Right.
But I can tell my kids stories about my grandma because she was there all my life. She helped raise me. So that keeps you keeps it rolling. You're gonna be remembered for generations.
Yeah,
you know
that's passing down generational
right.
wealth,
That's
generational
right.
knowledge, and it ain't just money when I say generational wealth. But just knowledge is, because that can get you to the bread. It's just knowing knowing who you are is going to empower you. Knowing that you come from a rich legacy is going to empower you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And when I found out information about our dad, it was like, well, his dad was like owned companies, owned like a taxi company, and
that's
school
where we get it
bus
from, bro.
driver.
That's where we
My
get
man
it from.
was in there, and I'm like, oh, okay. And he looked like and he looks like my son.
Yep, yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah. So this is where we get this booty chin from. And this is where this comes in. This is where that comes in. So connecting those things is valuable. I love family. I love the fact that our kids now will grow up knowing each other.
They can trace that bloodline.
They can trace that back,
right.
man. That's big, man.
Well, okay, this is one of the reasons I moved to Delray. My grandma is from Florida.
Right.
She always told me stories where when she grew up at, all that stuff, and we always went down there. She had a little sister, that stayed down there. She had four kids. And they was my mom, that's their first cousin. So when my mom graduated from high school, she didn't want to be in Delaware. She wanted to start over a new location.
Yeah.
So she could move there and have a start, right there. Because when you move somewhere, that's right. When you move somewhere, you don't need a lot, man. Just let me
let me crash
for a couple months. Find a job, help me find a job or whatever. Somebody that got a job for me, and then I'm off to the races. Yeah. And that's what they was able to do. Years go by, whatever, I get older. I always thought I would be able to do that when I was younger.
Right.
Years went by, my aunt passed away, my grandma passed away, whatever. Yeah. I didn't have that when I came there.
Yeah.
I didn't have a place to have a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I got a cousin down there. She let me sleep on the couch for about maybe a month. I rode around every day till I found a place to stay. Now my goal is to get a house down there.
Right.
So when my kids graduate from college, from high school, they might want to come down here. My grandson might want to start his life over. He don't want to stay in Delaware. He want to, do something new. Yeah. So he have a place to come and get a
fresh start.
Yeah, fresh start.
Yeah.
So that's how I got down there. Just knowing, like you said, my family, knowing my background to my family and where we come from and what it is that we do. So that's one of the that's dope. I love that. I love family. Like it really it can strengthen you. You know what I mean?
It does strengthen you.
Yeah, because you like I said, my grandma had a house. I never seen anybody come over to her house to fix anything about it. And if they couldn't do it, they had a friend
that can do it.
Now
that's what I'm talking about right there, man. I believe in that. So listen, I ain't gonna talk your head off. I ain't gonna keep you all day, man. It's been like a blessing, a super big pleasure having you on the show.
Oh yeah.
So at the end of all of our shows, we have what's called Roasted or Toasted.
Uh-huh.
So I know we talked about a lot of different topics, but I'm just gonna say for the topic of family. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to toast it and say it's something that needs to be, continued to have the conversation, in our communities, and in our households about, how to build family to generational wealth. So, if you want to give any shout outs, if you want to go ahead and give any last words that you would like to tell, future generations, and then go ahead and plug your business one more time at the end, and we'll go ahead and call it a segment.
We got a I don't know what year, what they call it? Generation?
Yeah.
Generation X, millennials, whatever we are in the 40-year-old, we gotta come together like we used to when we was younger. We gotta act like our uncles and our aunts did when we was younger. And everything will be better for people of color, I believe, man, because I can't remember a summer where I didn't see all my cousins and stay with them at least for 3 or 4 days. Nowadays, grandmas, oh man, I don't want the grandkids here. All your grandkids come over you. Oh man, they all over here. It can't be like that.
And they were the best times.
Oh yeah.
The best
times.
times.
Sleeping on the floor. It gotta be like that again, or it's just gonna. Best thing that Facebook, I don't like really do the social media thing. That's why it's so hard for me to even do a business on that. I'm more of a brick and mortar type guy because that's where I came up at.
Yeah.
I'm learning. My girlfriend now, she's pushing me to learn.
Cause it connects you.
Oh yeah. The best thing about Facebook, the only reason I keep Facebook on, is because all my cousins is on there.
Yeah, our family. Yeah.
So that's all. We just gotta them older generations, man. We just gotta start doing that again. Throwing barbecues.
Absolutely.
You know, sleepovers. I love it. I seen all the grandkids popped up at the grandma's house. We all staying with you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. That's right. We all staying with you tonight.
Yep.
The family reunions when we sleep in the car because we can't go nowhere. Get up in the morning. Auntie got breakfast cooked.
Yep.
That's what it need to be again.
Yeah. How do we get back to that?
Man, just loving on each other.
Doing the work.
That's right.
Yeah.
Loving on each other. Letting you. Okay, even though you don't really fool with your cousin like that no more because they done did whatever they done did to you.
Yeah.
We all got family.
Yeah.
That's all right though. Their kids ain't do nothing to you, so you let them kids come spend the night.
That's right.
You know what I mean. You let them kids come spend the night, and you make sure them kids is together. Cause I got a daughter. She about to be 11. You know what I mean. So I need to make sure my daughter knows her cousins.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
you got to make sure of that. It don't take much. Like I said, I know they get on your nerves. They gonna get on your nerves. And then having 2, 3, 4 of them in there at the same time, really gonna get on your nerves. But it's only for the weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can give up. You can go out and club and do all that foolishness.
It's only for a weekend.
Yeah.
So
that's real.
My rolling papers is the Black Hippie. My handle on Instagram, because that's all I'm on, is TBH 1887. They fire. You know what I mean? That's all I can say.
I need some. You got to ship some up so I can put some in my partner's business.
I just got my display box, everything taken care of. So I'm ready to rock and roll. I got you. I'm gonna definitely send you up some. I didn't bring none with me because I'm on vacation. I was just chilling. I didn't even know I was going to be doing a podcast.
Absolutely. So let me go ahead and shout out Nothing Without God Productions. Look for the movie Nothing Without God, Closer to God, Nothing Without God 2, Peacemakers 1 and 2. Also look out for a movie that just came out in January this year, The Frozen Hearts, a love story. It's on Amazon Prime. It's on Tubi, a few other platforms. In December, we got another production coming out called The Toxic King, and it'll be out on all platforms too. These are all written, directed, starred in, music soundtrack by people in the community. Nothing Without God Productions, family members, just people we know, people that want to support the move. Go to nothingwithoutgodproductions.org, look at the website, check out all the stuff going on there. We got the podcast, Rosting the World. It's all over YouTube. We trying to do our thing, man, and we need your support. So, go ahead and do that. We appreciate that. All right, well, y'all, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and stay tuned for another exciting episode of Rosting the World. Peace. Yes, sir.